going to slit my throat. Slit my throat. What for, you say, KaK? What are you going to slit your throat for? Because I want to stop the planet. I want to get off. I can't take it anymore. Do you want to hear some swamp news? Right, this is in the KaK M Show.
The Swamp News Edition.
The Swamp News Edition. So we've been talking about the wonderful Donald Trump, fantastic liar, and his wonderful, beautiful, fantastic, wonderful woman that's done such good things for the UK.
Yeah, like lowering the national debt.
Theresa May. She's done such good things for the planet. So we were talking about how Trump's filled up the swamp. Yeah, he's not drained it. And a few weeks ago,
Here's someone he's filled it up with.
we've got this bugger. Can you see him?
Yep.
Can you see him? There we are. Well, he's 70 years old, same age as Trump. Just get my glasses out and I'll read something to you about this. You'll be absolutely fascinated what this man's been up to. This man didn't trust Trump, and when Trump was doing his presidential campaign, and he went, "You really don't want this man." This man is called Elliot Abrams. Yeah, he was linked to a failed coup against Hugo Chavez. Is to join Pompeo and Donald Trump to urge Security Council to recognise Guaido as head, who they've put in place.
Yeah.
I don't think even Guaido recognises himself as head. So US diplomat convicted over Iran-Contra appointed special envoy.
Great job if you can get it, innit?
You want to hear some more about
Yeah,
this?
I do, because it sounds like a right evil crook.
But, well, you've got to be an evil crook, a potential mass murderer,
And a very good liar.
a good weapons salesman, an excellent liar. Yeah, dead right, my friend. The thick eyebrows... Excuse me, everyone. The thick eyebrows were familiar from another era, even if the crown was bolder, and the State Department's new hire admitted he had not worked there for 30 years. Excuse me, coughing. Elliot Abrams was appointed US Special Envoy for Venezuela on Friday as Donald Trump's administration and European leaders on Saturday further increased the pressure on Socialist President Nicolas Maduro to step aside from leading the country he has taken into a deepening crisis. It was fine before all the American sanctions against him.
Maybe we should send May over there. She'll sort it out. She's done such a good job here.
There you go, you've got a new job for her. Abrams will accompany the US Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, another member of the swamp that's been topped up, to a meeting on the UN Security Council, who are not united, in New York on Saturday. He will urge members to join the US in declaring Venezuela opposition Juan Guaido as the legitimate head of state.
In other words, the American puppet they've put in charge.
Yes! Abrams and neoconservatives have returned to the centre of the political action over the region like a ghost of administrations past. Even if he was not chosen to expressly haunt Latin America in Congress, the Trump White House clearly does not care if they are spooked. Abrams, yeah, can you smell that?
Yeah.
Abrams is widely remembered in Central America, but particularly from his time in the Reagan administration. Jesus, that was 30 years ago, when he tried to whitewash a massacre of 1,000 men, women and children
Bye.
by US-funded death squads in El Salvador when he was Assistant Secretary of State for Human Rights.
You couldn't make it up, could you?
I can't believe this. He shrugged off reports as communist propaganda and insisted the administration's record in El Salvador is one of a fabulous achievement.
Ah, yeah, death squads.
That's why he's got the job. Yeah, because it's just, as you say, brilliant liar. Abrams also helped organise the covert fencing of Contra rebels in Nicaragua. Really?
Ollie North was involved with that as well.
Oh yeah, drain the swamp! Drain the swamp, Mr. Abrams! It's literally flooding with effluvia. He then lied to Congress, told you one of the best things to become a politician about his role twice. He pleaded guilty to both counts in 1991. But guess what?
He was sentenced to no time.
He was pardoned by George H.W. Bush. He said, yeah, I'm completely guilty. I plead guilty to both counts. And it's okay, Mr. Abrams. Elliot, you're free to go.
When you're in the gang, you're in the gang. So what, if you're one of them, you're one of them, and you're protected from everything and anything.
Well, that's called justice, isn't it?
Yeah.
More than a decade later, working as special Middle East advisor to former President George W. Bush, you remember him, Abrams was an enthusiast advocate of the Iraq invasion. This guy is now working for Trump and his people, along with John Bolton.
One other thing that you've not actually mentioned yet, one of his other advisors who didn't fly with him but was at the Bilderberg meeting was Henry Kissinger, who recently come out and said, "Can't you hear the drums of war? I've been looking forward to this point. Looking forward to war."
Yeah, I can hear them. The drums are being beaten very loudly. Yeah, he was working as a special Middle East advisor, a bit like you said Blair, didn't you, Blair?
Yeah.
After the Iraq War, Blair was a Middle East advisor.
Peace envoy. Oh dear, oh dear.
Jokers! Bleep that. He says, Abrams was an enthusiastic advocate of the Iraq invasion. He was in the White House at the time of the abortive coup in 2002 against Hugo Chavez, who apparently the American government murdered. Yeah. Remember, he went terrible, didn't he? He got cancer and all sorts. The Observer reported that Abrams gave the green light to the push. Another of an Inspector General inquiry found no wrongdoings by US officials. It's amazing. Yeah, we're totally guilty. We all did it. Oh, it's okay. We can't see any wrongdoing.
We investigated ourselves and we found out we are great.
So if Trump was going to drain the swamp before he was elected, and then we believe that he's under hypnosis now, yes, welcome Mr. Bolton. Yes, welcome Elliot Abrams.
Yes, welcome Henry Kissinger.
Do you realise what I did before? I was as guilty as hell, and I actually said I was as guilty as hell, and you let me go. Yes, welcome, you've got the job. And I said that you were a horrible man and you don't vote for you as a president. Yes, welcome. You've got to be under hypnosis for that to happen.
Yeah, well, he clearly is, and so is Theresa May as well. So, who by? That's the thing.
They're people.
But as soon as he one of his advisors, he appointed Henry Kissinger, I knew straight away he was a baddie. What,
Trump has appointed Kissinger?
Yeah, he did that.
It's getting worse. The swamp stinks. You're going to drain the swamp.
Yeah.
There's one thing I really like about Donald Trump. He's done exactly every single thing that he said he was going to do. Name one of them.
He's made America great again. America PLC, that is, not the country.
Anyway, another Inspector General inquiry found no wrongdoing by US officials. Okay, that was not enough to erase his reputation as the Assistant Secretary of Dirty Wars. Dirty Wars, yeah? He's the Assistant Secretary of Dirty Wars. I'm going to drain the swamp. No, hold on, we're going to have a war with Iran. Then we're going to have a war with Venezuela. Hold on, we need Abrams. We need Pompeo. We need Rex Tillerson. We need Mike Pence. We need... That was not enough to erase his reputation as the Assistant Secretary of Dirty Wars, I repeat. The message sent by his return to the front rank of US diplomacy, diplomatic, will not be missed in Caracas, for sure. It says, as an instinctive isolationist and America firster, Donald Trump mostly abhors foreign entanglements. Unless he can make a ton of money. But he is clearly willing to make exceptions. Both the Vice President Mike Pence and the National Security Advisor John Bolton, here it is, look, have recently echoed the idea of a 19th century Monroe Doctrine that Latin America beyond the US doorstep is not covered by the administration's general non-interventionist approach. In the case of the Americas, Pence suggested earlier this week Trump was prepared to intervene for the right reasons. These reasons. Gold or guns, oil and drugs. Don't you think so? President Trump has always had a very different view of our hemisphere. That's fake news. He's long understood that the United States has a special responsibility to support and nurture democracy. So that's the democracy is a democratic republic, yeah?
Or
a Republican Democrat.
Yeah.
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
It's all in trouble.
Yeah. You flick a coin up in the air, whichever side lands, it's the same thing. Okay. I'll continue. That
approach has opened a door to a veteran non-neoconservative like Elliot Abrams. Now aged 70, he's always come close to joining the administration at its very beginnings. He was about to be named deputy to Trump's first Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson. You know,
another great man.
And filled the swamp. We do a special on him if you like. When Trump got wind of what Abrams had said about him during the presidential campaign and vetoed the appointment, Abrams wrote a commentary in the summer of 2016 warning that the Republican Party, that's the Republican Democrats, not the Democratic Republicans, has nominated someone who cannot win and should not be president of the United States. That's okay, Elliot, you've got the job. The article in the Weekly Standard was titled, "When You Can't Stand Your Candidate." Well, that's great. It's like me saying, no, you can't read the newspapers anymore, but you can come and work for me and read the newspapers.
Yep.
It doesn't make any difference. Yesterday, all that was forgotten, and Abrams, standing alongside Tillerson's successor, Mike Pompeo, declared, "It's very nice to be back and at war again." The crisis in Venezuela is deep and difficult and dangerous, he added, and I can't wait to get to work on it.
Making it worse.
What does that tell you? So there you go.
So after listening to that, those that claim that Trump's on our side, now what do you say?
You've got to be frigging joking. Elliot Abrams, topping up the swamp.